Has there been any talk about you playing left tackle?
No. In spring, I took a couple reps there, so I guess then. But since I've been back, it's been kind of all forward at left guard for me.
Okay. Would you volunteer to do it? I mean, or would you discuss that with the coaches?
I think it's something that is a lot pretty far down the line. Right now I'm really focused on playing left guard and trying to get whoever's playing next to me ready to play at left tackle. And we have some options there, so right now, I don't think it's a thing where I have to volunteer for the spot. If we get down to the line and something needs to happen, we'll see what happens there. But right now I'm just thinking about the first day of pads and, playing left guard.
I know it's not your job to assess Sean, but how do you think he's doing?
I think he's doing fine. I think it's hard to tell without pads on. We haven't played football yet, in a couple days we're going to, kind of see where he's at. But he has great competition every day. He goes against Myles Garrett most of the time. And if he can go out there and, be okay against that guy, he's going to be pretty good when he gets out there on Sundays.
I know it's an if, and we're all talking ifs, but if you were asked to switch out to left tackle, do you think the transition would be tough?
I think it's tough. I think left tackle is the toughest spot on the offensive line, and I think playing left guard for 4 years now, going on my 5th year, it's definitely going to be different. I definitely need some reps and stuff, and I would fight for it. I would try and do my best, but I'm not a left tackle right now, and so I'm really focused on left guard. And if something changes, then I'm going to have to work my tail off to, try and be ready to play left tackle.
What's the minimum time it would require to prepare for a game?
I don't know. A few weeks, hopefully. You want to get as many reps as possible. Ideally, if they were like, Joel, you're going to be the starting left tackle, I'd want to take every rep there. You know what I mean? But right now, that's not the case, and we're kind of keeping me at left guard.
How can you help Sean Coleman? Since you're more experienced, obviously.
Yeah.
So how can you help him?
Yeah, I think it's a communication thing. I think if he knows what he's doing on every play, he can just focus on his ability to do the play instead of thinking about the play. So we go out there and I make sure he knows what he's doing. We have good communication. I help him on the double teams and things of that nature. And I think if you get him in the right mindset and he knows what he has to do, he can be a good player.
Joel, what kind of transition is Austin going through now with playing left tackle in college and coming in playing guard?
Yeah, it's different for sure. I think things happen a lot faster inside. So you got to get used to quicker bull rushes, quicker moves, a little bit more double teams on the inside and stuff like that. It's more of like your footwork game, not stepping on each other and stuff because you're kind of not on the island as much. But he's doing a good job so far, and I know they're going to be moving around a little bit today, so he'll be getting reps everywhere still.
Did you watch Corbett's film, left tackle at Nevada?
I watched some of the games. I went there, so I was, a big fan of Nevada. But I just watched some games. I never really watched like game film, but I've seen him play a little bit.
That question just rolls into how would he do? And of course, Joe Thomas was on record expressing that Joe thinks he's a guard, but the team continues to say. You said this yesterday that he's still in the mix at left tackle.
Yeah.
In your opinion, how could that go for him if he winds up there?
Yeah, I think he'll be all right. I think Joe's kind of going through that media circus right now, and he's trying to have a few hot takes himself. But no, for real, I think Corbett can do it. He's a hardworking kid. He's going to go out there and he's going to compete. And, he might not look like a NFL tackle, but some guys don't. You know what I mean? I know Beecham played a long time. He was like 6'3". Jordan Gross was maybe 6'4". Like, there's guys that have played in this league at his size that can play left tackle.
Cordy Glenn maybe would be one of those.
Yeah, exactly. There's guys that have played at his size and his ability. And, I think it's another thing where you just want more repetitions if he's going to be the guy.
So for you, it's a little more complicated than riding a bike, just getting back on.
Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, you're facing different beasts, I mean, we got maybe a little bit more power guys, a little bit more explosiveness inside, but they have, they're different animals on the edge, and it's just a different set, a different way you think, a different way you kind of play the game. So it would be tough, I think, to make the transition after 4 or 5 years. I think give me a chance, and give me some reps, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I think it'd be tough. Just be like, hey, you got to play left tackle this week.
Would it mean something to you if you were the guy to follow Joe?
I'm just ready to play ball. If they want me to do that, like, cool, whatever makes the Browns better. But I've been happy at left guard for the last 4 years, going on 5 now.
Joel, you were certainly asked this in the spring, but now that you've digested that and are into camp by a few days and have the new set of running backs behind you, what's your take on how well suited this line group is to be part of an outstanding running game?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we have some guys, Chubb, Hyde, and Duke, and then Dave and some other guys we've brought in have all been good. We have some talent at running back, and so for us as the offense line, we got to give them as much time, as much space as they can get. I think they all have a little bit different styles, but at the end of the day, they're good running backs. So you give them a lane, and they're going to make something happen. So it's our job to, keep it open and give Todd Haley confidence that, hey, we can run the ball. We're going to be getting 4 or 5 yards a pop, and then hopefully we break one later in the game.
You three in the middle who played all last year together, how good of a run-blocking interior group were you three guys, and will you be, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think we're only going to improve because, we actually get a full training camp to practice. I was a little banged up last year, and we get to grow. We played all together last year, so we're kind of learning each other's tendencies, and it's been fun. I've become really good friends with JC and Kevin, so we're kind of bonding on the inside of that line, and I think the sky's the limit. I think we have a long way to go, and I think we really need to continue to work and push, and it'll be good to be in pads for the next week or two to kind of get it going before preseason. But I'm excited to work with them again, and I'm excited to, hopefully be a dominant inside interior group.
Was it noticeable to you to see how much bigger Treader came back?
Yeah, I was kind of working with him a lot this offseason anyway, so it's hard to tell when you see it, but when you see the results in the scale, you put on 10 to 15 pounds, it's been good. He's real dialed in on his diet, and he's one of those guys that kind of has to eat a lot to keep his weight on. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those guys. So he really worked at it, and he's coming back. And you kind of feel it, when you work on a double team with him, you're like, oh, this guy's a little bit more strength than him. And he's always been a strong guy, but having a little mass, I think, is going to help him.
Hey, Joel, a few of your teammates have talked really boldly about the prospects this season. Kirko even tweeted out about making the playoffs. Coming off no wins and 1 win, that's eyebrow raising a little bit. What's your feeling on guys sharing that equation?
I love the confidence. I think those guys have put in work. They've seen what we've done in the off season, and they're inspired. They want to make a play. But me personally, we got to play a few games first. You know what I mean? I'm all for it. I think we can go out there and beat anybody, but I want to see it on. We've talked a lot. We talk every off season. I want to go out there and I want to start playing games and start winning games before we start, preaching we're going to go to the playoffs. And it's a tough league, man, but I know we have the guys that can do it, and I know we're working to do it, but we'll see when we get on Sundays.
Joel, there's no easy solution for this national anthem debate. What would you like to see happen?
It's tough because it's a social issue that we have to deal with in this, the world we're in, and there's no clear-cut answer. I don't think you can put a rule on for every single person because everybody's touched differently by the matter. And, for the owners to go out there and try and make a rule without discussing it with the players, it's tough for us, as a PA and things like that. So it's been kind of a difficult process, and I personally don't know the answer. I don't know what the right answer is, but I know there are social injustices in this world, and I'd like to see them fixed as much as possible. And I know it's not going to be perfect, but we got to try and work as a group and come together and not. I think the more rules you put in, the more separate people feel. And so if we can come together and try and pick or choose a few things that we can work on as a group to kind of improve, then I think that would be a step in the right direction.
What was most troubling to you about what the owners decided? The rule or the lack of dialogue?
Probably the lack of dialogue, because if you go in and have dialogue about it, there might be different actions taken.
So are you encouraged at least there's dialogue taking place now?
Yeah, as far as I know, I'm not really included in those, right? I'm not a PA rep or anything like that, but as far as I know, I think they are beginning to talk and have some dialogue.
Separate subject. You know anything about this quarterback's clubhouse out in the parking lot?
Yeah, I've heard about it, and I might have a password or a VIP, access. Drew Stanton over there has given me the green light. I haven't actually made it in yet, but it's my goal this next week. So if I get in, I might spill the beans or something.
Take a nap in there? Is that kind of what?
Yeah, I think it's a nap, a hangout. You get away from the building for a little bit. So it's a cool idea, and I like it.
It seems the guys are just. It seems there's a lot of chemistry here, in spite of the fact that there's 25, 26 new faces that have been brought in this offseason. Is that kind of the vibe that you've you've gotten is that, you know, this team is a little more cohesive than maybe you'd expect with so many new faces?
Yeah, it's been really cool, and I think that's because we brought in a bunch of 4, 5, 6, 7-year players. You know, these guys have been around, and the ability to kind of connect with teammates. You know what I mean? And you bring a guy like Jarvis, who's kind of the personality of the team, a guy like Tarad, who's led a team to the playoffs, a guy like Drew, who's been around the block. You know, it's easy to mesh with guys like that because they work hard, they're here for the right reasons, and it's kind of fun to be around. So, I mean, we have a great locker room right now, and it's really fun to have been practicing, and, you know, you get that little banter and stuff like that with the defense right now. But I've had a great time so far in the few days of camp, and I'm kind of looking forward to playing games with these guys.